and today we're going to go through a program for glutes. So for exercises, we want to work on progressive overload, so really challenging ourselves and to ensure that we're providing the stimulus needed to actually build muscle. That's how we build glutes, is by building muscle. So we're going to start out with some split squats. Those are very challenging. They challenge balance. They work the whole leg, front of the leg, back of the leg, and the glute. You really want to focus on form and working anywhere between 8 and 15 reps per leg. You want this exercise to be hard and you want to really be challenged by it.
This is a Bulgarian split squat. We're using dumbbells. So we put our back foot up on a bench and we're going to put our other foot at about a leg's distance from that bench. That's going to be our working leg. Here we're bending the knee to lower and then we press through that whole foot to come back up. So our back leg is not working. We shouldn't feel anything on that back leg at all. It's just there for a little bit of support and stability. That working leg with this particular position, we should feel a little more quad and a little more medial glute. Okay, so we're going to inhale at the top and then exhale as we come back up. It's a lot of quad, and we want to, since it's single leg, really focus on the balance here. So if our foot is firmly pressed into the ground, heel, big toe, pinky toe, we're going to be a lot more stable than if we're sliding around on our foot.
From there, we'll move over to some dumbbell sumo squats. Those are one of my favorites. They're great for working quad, a little bit of hamstring adductors, so inner thigh, and also the glutes with the sumo squat. We want to make sure that we have our toes and knees pointed in the same direction and that our feet are slightly outside the hips. The sumo squat is not this, where our toes go directly out to the sides. That is a plie squat. Sumo squat is slightly outside the hips, toes pointed slightly out, just like you would do a sumo deadlift. So again, with the sumo squat, we want to challenge ourselves with the weight, and we're working anywhere again between 8 and 15 repetitions. If you can do 15, you need more weight, and then work yourself back up to 15 again.
This is a dumbbell sumo squat. We want to use both hands to hold the dumbbell. We're going to have our feet slightly outside of our hips and our toes pointed out. We're hinging back and down simultaneously. This is a squat, not a deadlift. And as we do that, we're keeping our core nice and tight so that we're supporting the spine and also generating more power. You're going to press through both feet, stand up, hinge back, bend the knees, and then press back up through the foot. So breath, inhale and exhale. So we can use our breath to help us generate more power and to help keep us more stable throughout this whole exercise. You want to feel this in the glutes, you want to feel this in the hamstrings, and probably also in the inner thighs. You're pressing through the whole foot, heel, toe, pinky toe. You should not feel this in your lower back at all.
From there, we'll move to the glute thrust machine. So if your gym is blessed enough to have one of these machines, they're really useful. Really allows you to focus on form, really allows you to progressive overload and feel stable while you're doing the exercise. So again, with the glute thrust, you can work anywhere between, it depends on where your strength is, but anywhere between like 6 reps and 20. If you can do 20, then you need to pile some more weight on, and then again, do as many as you can to find that working range where you feel like you're being really challenged.
For the glute thrust machine, you want the belt to go across the top of your thighs, not necessarily your hip joint, but the top of your thighs. We want feet underneath the knees, so your heels may be off the foot plate a little bit. Toes are going to be pointed forwards. You're going to lower and then press through the feet and drive the hips back up in a controlled manner. So your back is being supported by the back pad. Again, we want that about just underneath the shoulder blades. And we're hinging like we're doing a deadlift and then pressing back up. So it's hip extension and hip flexion. And really the only place you're going to feel this is in the glutes. If you're feeling it in the hamstrings or the quads, you need to adjust the feet so that they're more directly underneath the knees. Toes pointed forwards is going to be much more glute than toes pointed outwards.
And then our last exercise is our split stance deadlift. So with that, we're working, it's a deadlift, so it's still that hip hinge, and we're working hamstring and we're working glute. By doing the split stance, it really allows you again to focus on form, to really work on pushing your hips back, really loading that glute, really loading the hamstring, and again, working between 8 and 15 reps per leg. Challenge yourself, increase the weight if you hit 15, and then, start the whole process all over again. But
this is our split stance deadlift. We're using a dumbbell. So the front leg is our working leg. And to set up our feet, we want to have that back foot. We want the toe in line with the heel of the opposite foot and off to the side a little bit so that we have room to move. We're hinging the hips back. So hips go back, back is flat, knee is soft. You're still keeping that core super tight. We're not bending the back. You're pushing the hips back to load that front leg, which is our working leg. So the only place you're going to feel this, or you should feel this, is in the hamstring and the glute of that working leg. The back leg is like a kickstand.
But that is an exercise program targeting glutes. If you give it a shot, let me know how you liked it. Leave your comments below, what you liked, what you didn't like, and be sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to get our workouts.
Watch it.